Bugsy Bug here, back to another Oc-tober video. Today I'll be talking about two of my OCs in one. The OC I made with the prompt for the 5th of Oc-tober, who I called Blue and is based around a species of bird, and also Slider, who is based around the Oc-tober 6th prompt, which is a cat, so I based him around a tortoise shell. So, Blue is a cat which has wings and a pattern similar to a bluebird, which is what he's based around. He loves flying super high, and also I imagine he's pretty competitive in case there's any other creatures in the forest that love him. He's pretty good friends with Dusk, who appears mainly in the autumn, but also before then. These were also the first feathered wings that I made in any terms of design, so I'd say they turned out pretty good. Next, I'll be talking about Slider, who the whole joke is that I already draw cats. I drew a cat based off a cat species, so a tortoise shell. So I drew him, and then I thought it'd be funny to base his name around a turtle because tortoise shell. So I named him Slider. His design is pretty complex, even by my standards, but still. I imagine that he and also Blue are pretty good friends, and they also live in the same area, which is inside a hole in a tree that's pretty high up. I also think that Slider would be pretty good friends with Aspen and Violet. I don't have a specific name for the type. I also don't have a specific type of name for the type of species that Blue is, because there's a lot of different, like, identical species that people have made up across the years that are just winged cats. So I'm not going to try to think of a name for it. I just know that he and Slider just live in the forest together. And I imagine that since there are other prompts which are based around different types of species, that they would probably all be friends to some extent. I imagine that Slider is probably the type who actually cares a lot about his friends, but is like, I don't care about you at all, and also gets annoyed a lot. Kind of like Jay Feather type character. If you don't know Warrior Cats, you won't get that, but you know. So that's most of it. I would just like to add in that I imagine that Blue and also Slider are gay. And I know that there's also some complications with there being a male tortoiseshell, but I don't care about genetics. I only drew them with genetics based off like the looks by using a reference. But I'm not going to go too deep into that because I honestly I drew them to be similar. I drew Slider to have genetics which would make him look similar to a picture, but I'm not going to actually care much about those genetics. Anyway, that's most about it. They're pretty chill. That's most of it. Have a wonderful time zone, and I will bug you later.